You are trying to write the perfect essay for the B2 First Cambridge exam, but you need to include complex grammar, organizational patterns, discuss complex ideas. How do you do it? In this video, I'm going to give you 3 grammar structures to use in your essay to include complex ideas, organizational patterns, and complex grammar. My name is Toby, this is Smash English, and here are 3 grammar structures that you should use to score high marks in your Cambridge B2 First essay.
Number 1. Inversion.
Normally in English, the verb comes after the subject, but sometimes the verb can come before the subject. In English, we call this grammar structure inversion. The most common use of inversion in English is when we ask questions. When we ask questions in English, we put the auxiliary verb before the subject. I'm sure you do this all the time. However, we can also use inversion for emphasis with certain fixed structures in English. If you want to know more about all of the fixed structures you need to know, then watch my video about inversion. Seriously, watch it, it's really good. But how can you use inversion in your essay? Well, that's easy. With not only, but also. Ooh. We use not only, but also to talk about 2 things that are related to each other. For example, Toby is great and Smash English is fantastic. Not only is Toby great, but also Smash English is fantastic. So how can we use this in an essay? Well, I tell all of my students to introduce paragraph 3 with a not only but also inversion. You restate the point of paragraph 2 and you introduce the point of paragraph 3. That sounds a little bit confusing, so let's look at an example.
For example, not only could pollution be reduced by increasing the price of petrol, but also by using public transport. In this example, my second paragraph is about increasing the price of petrol, and my third paragraph is about using public transport. Not only do museums help preserve the past, but also help to educate. In this example, the second paragraph is about museums' role in preserving culture, and the third is about museums' role in education. Not only should teachers educate children, but also teach them how to become productive members of society. In this essay, my second paragraph is about a teacher's role in education, and the third about a teacher's role in educating children on how to become good members of society.
Seriously, this structure is fantastic for your score in language because it is an example of complex grammar. It's also brilliant for organization. 1, because it's an organizational pattern, and 2, because it links 2 paragraphs together. If you want to know more about complex grammar and organizational patterns and what these mean, then watch my video about the Cambridge B2 First mark scheme for writing. Oh, and like I said before, if you want to know more about inversion, I have a video on that as well.
Number 2. Second and third conditionals.
Second and third conditionals are very important structures to include in your essay. Why? Well, number 1, they are complex grammar, and that means that your marks for language will increase. And number 2, when you talk about hypothetical situations with a second or a third conditional, you are talking about complex ideas, which increase your marks for communicative achievement. So what are complex ideas? Well, in the Cambridge mark scheme under communicative achievement, if you want to score a 5, which is the maximum, you must discuss some complex ideas. These are ideas that are not concrete. They are abstract, they are unreal. If you use a second conditional, you are talking about an unreal present or an unreal future. If you use a third conditional, you are talking about an unreal past. This is what we mean by complex ideas, and using conditionals is so easy. Let me tell you how. For FCE, you could be asked two types of questions for the essay. One of them is asking you to give your opinion on something. To what extent do you agree with a statement? Or you could be asked if you think a problem can be solved.
In the first example, we could use a second conditional as an example to illustrate a point. Here, the second conditional is used as a rhetorical question. We are discussing the unreal situation of museums not receiving investment and the consequences it would have. In the second example, we could use a second conditional to suggest a solution and a possible consequence of this solution. For example, here the potential solution is food companies reducing salt and fat in their foods, with the potential result of solving the problem of poor diet.
Of course, there are other types of unreal tenses that you could use in your essay to achieve this. One of them is using I wish and if only. I have a video on that on my channel. And another one is using as if and as though with a past tense. I also have a video all about as for the B2 First exam on my channel, so watch them and learn lots of useful things. Yeah? Yes.
Number 3. Passive modal reporting verbs.
And this is where we combine complex grammar with unreal tenses to send the examiners crazy. Yes, crazy. Use these to improve your marks in language and communicative achievement, especially communicative achievement. Remember, an essay is a formal piece of writing, and you should only present your opinion in the conclusion. So, how do you present an idea that is not your opinion? Well, that is where passive modal reporting verbs come into play.
You could say, some say that people are putting on weight because of diet. This is great if you are writing a B1 essay. So how can we make this more complicated? Well, let's make it passive. It is said that people are putting on weight because of diet. This is already looking much better. Now we have a passive reporting verb. But let's change the verb say to something more complicated. We could use argue, assert, posit, suggest, or think. So now we have, it is asserted that people are putting on weight because of diet. This is a great way to introduce a new topic, argument, or idea without it being presented as your own. This means we are using the conventions of the communicative task, an important part of scoring high marks for communicative achievement. But we can still do better. Let's put a modal verb in there. It could be asserted that people are putting on weight because of diet.
And this is what we want. Here we are saying that this is an intelligent thing to say if someone said it, but it is not my opinion. It could be argued that video games are bad for children. Is this my opinion? Well, we don't know. But could this be a good argument if it were my opinion? Well, yeah, it could be. It could be posited that increasing the cost of petrol would decrease pollution. Is this my opinion? Well, we don't know. But is this a valid opinion? Sure. And now we can discuss it. So instead of saying some people believe, some people argue, some people think, some people say it could be said, it could be argued, it could be stated, it could be asserted. I will be happy, you will be happy, the examiner will be happy, everyone will be happy, so do it. And finally, here is a model essay, gosh I am generous, using all of these grammar structures that I have given you today.
Here we have a second conditional used in the form of a rhetorical question. Here we have an inversion to connect paragraphs 2 and 3 together. And in the conclusion we have a passive modal reporting verb, summarising the points made in paragraphs 2 and 3.
And with that we are finished. Now you have 3 fantastic grammar structures that you can use every single time you write an essay for the B2 First Cambridge exam. If you liked the video, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, leave a comment down below. My name is Toby and this was Smash English.